What's up, my brothers? So I want to do a video for the guys, for the boys, and give you a little bit of insight on 10 very, very common lies that are most likely in your blind spots for a lot of you that you should not be believing at this time in history. The first one is just be yourself. I think that this is probably one of the biggest lies that guys subscribe to, especially the softer, weaker, less awakened guys in this day and age, where they've been told through a function of usually single parent households, sometimes culture, marketing, religion, it doesn't matter what it is, but you're essentially enough. Like, you're just fine the way that you are. You don't need to be more. Just be yourself. Number two, and this one blows me away, and is that marriage is still a good idea for men. The amount of guys that still have a priority on their agenda in life to find a wife and get married as a goal, as an accomplishment, as essentially the peak of Maslow's hierarchy of all your needs that you'll ever need, subscribing to just get a wife. Not a good idea. I'm not saying don't get involved with women. I'm not saying don't invite a woman into your life. I'm not saying don't have children. What I'm saying is marriage is not a good idea for men anymore. The entire point of marriage throughout the entirety of modern history was the acquisition of in-laws. That's really what it boiled down to. You didn't have everything available in your network, so you needed law enforcement, you need schooling, you need medical care. People would obviously blend families, marry, acquire in-laws, and they would be able to serve, protect, and raise children together. And that's what the function of marriage initially was. Now today, they try to make it all about romantic love. Just love her, just love her more. Learn her love language. You know, if she's not interested in you or if she's not intimate with you, why don't you know her love language? You see that pop up all the time in these free Facebook groups and these discussion boards, and it's like, these guys have no idea what they're talking about at all. The third lie, which I hear a lot going out to guys, is just be a passport, bro. Just grab a passport, move to another country, and all your problems will be solved. And that's really not true. The way the narrative usually goes is you live in the West is in the decline, the fabric of society is crumbling, women in the West are no good, they're no longer feminine, they're too feminist, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, go get a passport and go to Asia, go to Latin America, Colombia, go to Eastern Europe, you know, one of these places. And sure, the women are more feminine, they're way less tattooed, they've generally got culinary skills, they leave their hair long, they do their makeup all the time, but they're still women. And women are hypergamous around the world. What women want is the best deal that they can possibly get. It's not like they're going to be more agreeable in Colombia or more agreeable in the Philippines or Thailand. They're still women. Sure, the cost of them will be lower. Sure, the women might be more attractive, but you still need to understand the fundamental and the basics of attraction, women, what drives them, and do better. Vast majority of the time, we'll learn the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. It's greener where you water and fertilize it, where you take care of it. All right, let's go to number 4, which is the good girl. A lot of guys will believe this notion that there's a good girl out there. There's good girls out there. And you know what? There's some bad girls. There's some pretty terrific ones too. And there's some better girls. There's either bad girls or there's, I'm going to do this in quotations, good girls that haven't been caught yet because of bad choices that they've made. Women would do a lot better today if they ran decisions through the filter of, would this disappoint my father? But guys, you have to understand that women are just women. There's no perfect angels out there. Women all have the capability to break your heart and step out on you and betray you. And no amount of being nice to them or being kind to them or a shoulder to cry on. The same gal in the library that might look cute and innocent is the same gal that when she was 22 years old, a couple of Italian guys in a foam cannon party in Ibiza, she was drunk enough, they were cute enough, and you know, whatever led to one thing after that was the result of the problems or the baggage that she might be carrying around. So just be very, very careful with the good girl idea that there's all these good girls out there. The fifth one, which grinds my gears to no end, is that you are a victim. They love telling guys today that you are a victim. They convince a lot of dudes out there that you are victims and that you deserve more and that people owe you something. Everything that came your way that you did not like, for the vast majority of you out there, with some small exceptions, happened because you made some bad choices, happened because you didn't do the right thing. You didn't do the work. Number 6, let's talk about being in shape and that it doesn't matter. They'll tell a lot of people out there, oh, people should just accept you for who you are. It doesn't matter what size you are. You're beautiful at any size, blah, blah, blah. That might work for some women, for some, but there's a load of 20-something-year-old virgins out there that want to be with women, that want to be intimate with them, that want to have a girlfriend or build a family or something like that, and they're not getting any response from women whatsoever because they haven't looked after their physical appearance. They haven't created the optics of strength and masculinity and confidence and that E-taper, the broad shoulders and a narrow waist. They're sitting around in an overweight body, inflamed, skin disorders, knee disorders, diabetic, carrying around far, far too much body weight, wondering why they're not getting what they want out of life. And at the end of the day, there's certain people out there that can get away with being obese, right? There's lots of women out there that have guys that will chase them. It matters still for women, but not to the same degree, right? For guys, you cannot be out of shape. You just can't let yourself go. You can't carry around unnecessary body weight. You can't let yourself be shaped like a pear. If you want to be respectable, like when you enter a room and you're in good shape and you're wearing properly fitted clothes, your shoulders are broad, they're back, your chest is out, you don't have a belly, your flat stomach, you've got a nice V-taper, people notice. Men will notice you and women will notice you. Men will look at you and think, I want to be like that guy. Women will look at you and be like, I want to be with that guy. Do you understand? Let's go to number 7, which is you can be an introvert and you do not need a network. I'm going to say this again. I've said this many, many times on my channel and podcast interviews. Your network is your net worth. If you're a guy that thinks that you can be introverted or create a network, I'm doing it in quotations, online playing video games, where you build a guild or a Discord community or something like that, and those are your friends. They might be your friends online, but they're not your friends in real life. They're not in your vicinity. They aren't going to be by your side if the shit hits the fan, when the zombie apocalypse comes or the aliens invade or the meteor hits the earth and there's a reset. They are not going to be around. Is that thing going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. Let's be honest. Throughout history, men have always relied on other men. The way of men, as they say, is the way of the gang. Men need to form a strong, cohesive band of brothers, a tribe, where we hold each other accountable, where we test each other. It's why guys will talk shit to their friends, to their face, but protect them behind their back. And by the way, the kind of guys that you want to avoid and not invite in your inner circle are the ones that are always friendly to your face, but then talk shit to your back to other people. Let's go to number 8. We're going to talk about combat, where you don't need to learn how to fight. Oh, you're safe today. You got the military, they'll protect you. You got the police, they'll protect you. You've got whatever. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is an incredibly bad notion, a belief to carry around in life. I'm not saying that you need to go around beating the crap out of people or you need to be violent, but as a man, you need to have the capacity for violence. It is always better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Do you understand? Let's go to number 9. We'll talk about money not mattering. I don't know how many times I've heard this. Oh, money doesn't matter. There's only so much money out there. You can't get it. All the rich people have accumulated it and they're all bad and they're not going to share it. So they've acquired it through nefarious means, blah, blah, blah. All this sort of stuff. Simply not true. Money is a measurement of the amount of value that you've created in life. The more value you create in life, the more problems that you solve, the wealthier and more money you will accumulate. That's all it is. That's all that money is. It's just evidence that you've done something of some significance in your life. Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are only loved under the condition that they provide something of value to their family and to the world around them. If you are not in that position, you have to understand that you have to put yourself in a position. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.